Once upon a time, two friends Sammy and Jack set out for a journey. They had planned how well their vacation would be. They packed everything they needed for their trip and was ready. It was a breezy day. The weather was friendly and perfect for a trip. Sammy said, "Just the right weather we need for this trip," Jack acknowledged. The two believed nothing could wrong. They had a nice time while on their trip and the weekend was over. It was time to get back to work. But on their back their van malfunctioned and fell down the hills. Luckily they both survived. But the major problem was how they would come out to seek for help. After surveying the whole place, the only way out was by crossing a lake which seemed to be deep.
Sammy and Jack were both scared and their heads went blank. The night was fast approaching and they need to find a way out of there. They both prayed that someone would find them and help them out. They both began to scream for help but no one heard them. "I think we would die here, because it's getting dark and there is no one coming down here," said Jack. "No, we won't, help will come, let's have faith," replied Sammy. Time passed and still no sign of help. The two men were already starving and was cold. Suddenly Sammy thought of an idea and said to Jack, "We could actually leave here on our own." And Jack asked how. Sammy suggested that they throw stones in the lake, on a straight line until it shows on the top so they could walk past the lake. Jake, thinking how long it will take them to do that, said, "That is actually impossible. Before we are done, we must have been devoured by wild animals."
"Don't be so negative, Jack. We have been praying and hoping for a miracle to be rescued and finally we have an idea," Sammy responded. "Oh, please let your idea be more realistic," Jack said. Sammy shook his head in disbelief and he started staking up stones all by himself. After a long time, Sammy was tired but was not ready to give up. Soon after Sammy noticed that the stones were beginning to show at the top. Sammy was so happy and woke Jack up. Seeing the progress, Jack was so happy, he joined hands with Sammy and soon after they could cross the lake by walking on those stones. Finally they were done. They packed up their belongings and crossed the lake. They waved at some passerby, and luckily they got help from a good Samaritan. After a long ride Sammy and Jack was home. Jack apologized to Sammy. Sammy said, "We often pray and hope for things, but we forget we need to work to help bring those visions to existence." And they but hugged each other. The end.